Hello, happy 11/11 portal. Today things are a little different for me for some reason, so I'm called to use this deck it's new to me. I've been working with it for a couple of days now. It's the Shaman's Dream Oracle. I was inspired to get this deck from because of San Tarot here on YouTube. I'll put her channel in the description. She's an amazing reader. She, her style of reading is very much like imagery based, and I resonate with that heavy because I see like moving pictures in my head when I'm doing a reading. It's just, it's like a story, right? So she's very inspiring, and she's an amazing intuitive reader. She is spot on, like 100% of the time. I'm a fan. Anyways, okay, so being a portal day, I kind of knew that the energy was very different. Excuse me. I kind of knew that the energy was very different. It feels very lighthearted, but it is very profound at the same time. I'm telling you, I'm guided to use this deck. I also brought this one out, the Mystic Martian Oracle. It's so like weird kind of concepts of decks, and then do you see how that looks like a portal? And this is quite literally a portal. Okay, this was not planned. It's just what felt right. I started to record this reading with the one that I always use, which is the Forest Oracle, but it just did not feel right. I couldn't connect to the cards. They didn't connect to me. It's just not. It's a very interesting day. I'm also guided to show again with the imagery. Yeah. This also looks like a portal to me. Just the back of the decks, okay? We haven't even. This is so interesting. This is the message as well. It's like seeing both sides of the coin. It's almost like this also looks like a portal, right? It's almost like this energy is very transformative because it's helping you see things from a different perspective. Honestly, where you thought you had a complete knowing, right? And this is such an intricate thing to decipher, right? This looks so complicated to decipher, but you have done that because you've seen the value in this. It's gonna be like when it gets turned, when you get a different point of view, or maybe you get to learn about this, but in a different way now. It's gonna be mind blowing, but beautiful at the same time. It's like now I'm thinking of, how you learn from about love from heartbreak, but you also learn about love from being in love. It's that kind of contrast. Maybe there's a lot of heartbreak, right? But now it's time to learn your lesson in love, but from a loving place. Very interesting message. And I haven't even looked at cards. This is so interesting. So all of my decks kind of like, I'm definitely over explaining today, but I feel like people are wondering, or whoever's watching, I don't know. Um, all of my decks have kind of like owned one of my crystals. They're just whatever, it feels right. They keep it. And then this deck, I was like, okay, what crystal am I gonna use for this deck? And I grabbed this bracelet. So this bracelet belongs to that deck, right? Don't they go together? Just it makes sense. So I have to wear it, while I'm reading the cards. I don't make the rules. I just work here. So, all right. That's one of my favorite things to say. I don't have a conventional job at the moment, so, but when I did, uh, that was one of my favorite things to say. All right. Let's see what the message is for today. I don't know if I'm gonna get a couple of cards or I'm gonna get one card. This is a we're gonna go as we go. Okay, we're gonna see. This is gonna be a very intuitive reading. I don't really have a structure to it like I usually do for pretty much every single day. I kind of have like stuff that I follow, but okay. Again with the over explaining. Ooh. All right. There's a card. Ooh. Galactic Mushroom, the Divine Matrix 24. These cards are so trippy, dude. Like, they're so intricate. There's so much going on here. But now I kind of get the message where I am like overwhelmed by what I'm looking at. It's almost like the answer to the question is it's like overwhelming, profound, overwhelming, a lot to decipher. Like there's so much to look at. Okay, I think I'm gonna take three more. Two more? Yeah, I want three of the cards. All right, let's see. Wow. Eye of the Needle. Intentionality. And the card, was it yesterday? The unicorn card was intention. This reminds me of the Five of Swords because there's 5 needles here. There's so much coming through the eye of the needle. Like, such a small place with so much, like, intensity. Wow. That's so interesting. Oh my gosh, that scared me. Okay. All right. One more card. When I was saying in the oh no, it wasn't here. When I started to record. Oh my gosh, no freaking way. So I started to record earlier with the other deck that I told you that I wasn't clicking with it. And I was talking about how the 11:11 portal made me cry. Like I had a really emotional moment before I started to like record and everything, get ready to do it anyways. And it was this deck. This deck made me cry, okay? Because I have been deciphering my dreams with my own interpretation, and then I asked this deck because it's the dream oracle, right? For one card so that I can interpret. And it was this card. It was this card. Okay. I was about to talk about that. I flipped this over and I was like, okay, confirmation that I have to talk about it. But it was this card. This card made me bawl my eyes out. Okay. And for it to be here again, wow. But okay. The message is definitely about seeing another side, another perspective of what you have considered or what you've been in the dark about. That's definitely the message, because you're having a little sliver of you have like a little tiny viewpoint that is slowly opening up for you to see more of it. And it's almost like with the galactic mushroom, it makes me think of like if you're high on mushrooms or something like that. It's like an eye-opening experience. This doesn't have to You don't have to be doing drugs to be going through this. Like honestly, I had an eye-opening experience literally by interpreting this card, and I wasn't on anything. So it's like it's very spiritual, very unique to you, very transformative, and it takes you into honestly this energy. This is so okay. 24, 25. So between this is like step 1. I think it was maybe you started to expand your mind about pretty much everything, especially when it comes to like your growth, spirituality, what it meant for you to be on this journey, all of that, right? This is your beginning, and And this is the end of that journey in the sense of kind of getting to a really good place after starting this transformation. And in between these two, A and B, right? Point A to point B, there's this, right? You had to get a little taste of, it's almost like get a little peek. You got a little peek of what this was going to be like, and that was what really drove you towards going really deep within your psyche, your emotions, your wow, it is so intense. It's like a very intense transformation. And so you went deep into this place, and it was this card to me, I channeled a lot, and then I from the book it was mainly about taking this time that you're in kind of limbo mode to be grateful and believe that this is the next step for you, and you don't have to worry about anything. It was kind of like, don't see the like, don't see the time that you're spending in the dark, um looking for silver linings, and kind of doing a lot of guiding yourself with your intuition instead of like the full picture. You're very much faith focused at the moment, and that is the right thing to keep doing. um this also looks, so for me, it felt like I was in a cave, and then it was very dark for me, but I was making a home out of it, and I was making it pretty because I was going to be there for a while. But then this keyhole is open. You see how it's the eye of the needle, very small, right? Very small thing to look through. So that's a very specific viewpoint. It's almost like it's such a sliver of what could be that, but it was enough for you to get your move on because you honestly believe in this huge view that you have here, right? But now from a needle to a keyhole. So the keyhole is a little bit bigger. It's like and now there's like a full moon back there that you can't see all of it yet. But the full moon to me looked more like a portal because there were other cards that fell with it that just, the message was so freaking clear. I wish they would come out. Oh, this was one of them. Sky Bridge. So yeah, when you get out of this darkness, it's like this reveals itself to you. This literal portal, right, to here. And maybe the reason why you feel in the dark, or this card made me cry because it made me think about the fact that this energy that um I for me it was very inspirational. It was like a wake up call for me back in when my spiritual journey started, that this is coming, but it's like, but you have to be so present, and you have to, but it's like I want it now kind of thing, right? I was dealing with my inner child um but I want it now. But it's kind of, you have to be like the voice of reason for your wanting instant gratification about stuff, because I've been doing a lot of growth since I've started my journey, but I've been doing a lot of growth, especially this year, and especially in the last 6 months. It's been, when I tell you, it's like a fast course to, I don't know what the fuck is, but um, this is so close, and it's almost right there. It's like you've seen it, now you got a bigger view of it, and now it's like literally full on. It could be like you expect it now, like you're expecting really good things in your life, but you're just waiting to arrive at that point. um and yeah, that could be frustrating. Do I want to use this? No, hold on, we're gonna do the Martian one because this deck is, I just want to get one card from here. This deck is always interesting. I dedicate this deck to like star family, you know, if because some of us, I mean, all of us come from stars, but you know, we might have connections to aliens, and it's pretty cool. This deck is always kind of funny. Interesting that the earth element, I was talking about you could have connection with aliens, and then it's like, no, you're grounded. Pay attention to this again. That seems to be the message. Be stay grounded in what you know to be true, what you have gotten a glimpse of, what you're getting a bigger view of, and what you're about to full on see in front of you, and you can't ignore it in front of your face. It's almost like stay grounded in that. Survivable, adaptable, reliable. Very grounded. You're asked to stay grounded. And I mean, yeah, I think that's important. That's definitely important because when there's a lot of transformation and transformative energy in general all around you, and you're going through it, you definitely need to stay very present in your body because your mind can run the show. Like it can really, and your mind can also, for me at least, when I start, like my mind starts racing and I start using like my imagination to, because of anxiety, you imagine like horrible things happening. I don't know why that happens. It's just, if you've ever suffered from anxiety, you know that literally you think that one thing means that something else is going to happen, and this, you know, it's like you don't stop thinking about stuff. It becomes very confusing because you confuse that with your intuition, because it makes you feel the kind of same, like, I don't know, it could make you like feel nervous, and then that develops like a gut feeling, but it's a fake one. It's like a placebo one. um so yeah, stay grounded, stay grounded. Go out and just walk on grass for a little bit. It doesn't have to be for too long. All right, I guess if we don't have the opportunity to have grass in front of you or around you, if you have plants, you know, maybe hang out with your plants. Okay. Wow. Wow. Talk about confusion and mental prison, right? Self-imposed when it comes, when it's anxiety. And I know it's not hard to get out of that mindset because I've suffered from chronic anxiety. To the point that my body would like literally vibrate from how nervous I was. Honestly, obviously I had reasons, but not reasons in the moment. You know what I mean? Like in that moment, I had no reason to be shaking, or be anxious. And that was a medication, and that didn't even work. But that's besides the point. Um, it's almost like that's what's being asked. Stay grounded. And I think with the galactic mushroom being clarified by the Hierophant in reverse, it's almost like what opened your eyes was seeing, I think, stepping away from, I'm hearing right away organized religion. You stepped away from that. But I'm also seeing like stepping away from what the norm was for you. But I think you kept insight of whatever you left behind though, and like you integrated that just for your betterment, and you became an alchemist after you had this. You've always been an alchemist. You became aware, this sliver that you were able to see through showed you how powerful you truly are, right? With the magician, and the wall. makes a lot of sense to be Three of Pentacles in reverse, because the Three of Pentacles to me here kind of looks like a couple, but to me it's always looked in the regular depiction. It's always looked like co-creating with spirit, right? And in reverse, I can see how if you're in this stasis, like kind of like waiting for the next thing to come in, waiting to finally get out of this dark night of the soul, or dark night in general, get out of the rut that you're in. You could feel abandoned by spirit. You could feel like he's looking at her like, oh, she's so happy with her rose, but where's my rose? It's kind of like other people get their stuff, but oh wow, this is not the Three of Pentacles. This is the Nine of Pentacles. Oh my god, that's even more interesting. Still the same thing. Here she is, literally feeling like they're not, these two people are not connected, and probably you were like waiting for some kind of connection, or it's more of you see other people getting Nine of Pentacles in the sense of stability and like independence, and you're waiting for that to happen for you, and you do feel abandoned by spirit. You feel in the Five of Pentacles in this deck is really cool, because in reverse, and this is upright. So upright, it's like you might not have everything that you want, but you have everything that you need in the moment. And she's very welcoming of help, and spirit is right there, even though she doesn't have much. And yeah, she's in the streets, but it's with the aura, with this here, it makes me think of like, it's almost like being stripped down, but to gain a different life. So it's not literally homelessness. It's more of everything gets taken away that no longer serves you, and you welcome that change. But in this energy in reverse, how it is here, you are still in that energy where the universe is trying to change probably things for you, and it probably came in the form of a tower, or like I said, like being in the dark about a lot of stuff. And it's a scary place. It's a scary, it's almost like I thought this was over. Like she's looking very, very confused and very terrified. But it being clarifying the Garden of Venus, which literally Venus is, today is a Venus day. It's Friday. Oh, how interesting. Synchronistically interesting. Love, rest, renewal. With the Five of Pentacles clarifying this, it's almost like you've lacked this for so long that it might, I'm going to clarify with this deck, but it might scare you when it shows up, and you, that's weird. All right, let's see. That's a weird message. I don't get that. I mean, I guess if you've been in survival mode for so long, a time of ease, which is this card right here, it's almost like seeing obstacles and redirections as protection. Is almost like it's okay, it's meant to happen, you know, it's gonna be all right. It's just a detour for your betterment kind of thing. You might see how that's like, if you're always go 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 go, and what's the next goal, and now you're just being asked to enjoy the moment, and because your next goal is huge and it's coming up and you don't have to worry about it. It's almost like, what do you mean that I don't have to work for it? What does that mean? What does that mean? I get that. I get that. It's like learning, like I said in the beginning, it's learning about all of this rest, renewal, love with Venus, learning that you don't have to work for approval or have to do things right to be unconditionally loved. Like, if it's unconditional, it's going to be unconditional, kind of thing. You're going to learn from good things coming into your life. And that might be, oh wow, the Empress. Yeah, definitely. It's a transformative time for you to experience and get proof of just how divine you are and how appreciated you are for how divine you are. Strength. Wow. Okay. Yeah, seeing yourself as this powerful being literally brought the strength energy to your, it's like a healthy ego kind of thing, it's Nine of Cups. Oh my God. So interesting that it's with the Nine of Pentacles. 9, 9. I like that. But it's interesting too because it's such a contrasting energy where it's like you really think you're not getting your wish fulfillment, but you are. You are. You definitely are. Last card. Oh, wow. Okay. So the struggle with the fear around this complete, like, blissful happiness is letting go, like truly leaving a lot of things behind for what you know to be your true happiness. This right here is this card. Now I feel like this could be even underwater. I'm even seeing that now. I don't know if that's gonna come through, but this could be like underwater, right? With the luminescence and everything would make sense to me. And this is like the opening to come out of this water. You know, you journey in the dark out of this place. Probably this emotional turmoil or yeah. And it's because you needed to learn this emotional lesson in letting go, truly letting go. And you're going and you let go and then you go from an 8 of Cups to the 9 of Cups. You go towards this light, towards your wish fulfillment. That's wow. And it is scary, it is. And it's almost like you also feel bad for who you're leaving behind. That makes a lot of sense too. You feel bad for whoever you're leaving behind, thinking you're abandoning them, but it's, I don't think it's like that. I think because if you think back, whenever someone has walked away from you, maybe left you in this energy, you have learned how to come out of it, and you now see again the other side of this where, so this has happened to me. This is another message, definitely. So this has happened to you, and you feel like if this could never turn into this, like, how can I go from a place of complete abandonment issues, right? How can I walk away from the fact that people walk away from me to then my wish fulfillment? It's almost like you cannot conceive that. But with now I'm looking at this with the, it's, you're grounding this garden. You're literally, stay true to what you have seen. You've seen this in your future. If spirit has given you a glimpse of it, look at these. These are 4 major arcana cards back to back from each other. Like, literally, even her back. You've stepped into your Empress energy by giving your back to the norm again, to the hierarchy of things, to this is how it should be, and you should do this to do this, and you'll never get this unless you do this and this and that. You walked away from that. Um, you definitely walked away from that. You're birthing a new beginning for yourself. You're alchemizing a new beginning, a new sense of strength when it comes to, especially self-love, with Leo being here, with the strength card. um yeah, Leos love really hard, and it's time to give that exact love to yourself. And I think that's what you're doing, obviously, because you're in the Empress energy. And the Empress, another thing about this card is that it's about waiting and just trusting divine timing, and trusting that this fluidity or stasis kind of environment is for your betterment. It's that the Empress receives. She's not looking around for things. It's almost like she's doing her, and then things just naturally flow into her life or flow out of it, you know? Both things apply here. You could also be letting go with this in reverse. You could be letting go of what you thought your wish fulfillment had to look like. It does not have to look, again, since you walked away from the Hierophant, which is the structure, and the Nine of Pentacles here is kind of depicted as, it has to look like a, like um marriage or kids and this, not, I don't know, that's what's coming through it. Whatever this illusion that this never actually set right with you when it came to relationships, that you walked away from, it's what's guiding you to your Nine of Cups. And this could be something that you've learned. This could be like conditioned behavior that you walked away from, or yeah, like whatever you learned as a child about relationships, maybe, or some kind of pattern that has existed and that you have been able to see in your life in regards to your relationships. And this feels very like romantic relationships. It is what it is, but we all carry a lot of trauma about around our romantic relationships anyways. I feel like you could carry trauma around for friendships, but not as much as you do for your romantic endeavors. So it's like, it's almost like, yeah, you're breaking a cycle that you were in. And it could have been a generational thing as well, because that keeps coming up for me with the runes. The runes have been speaking about a lot of uh, generational gratitude for your actions towards your healing, because it's not just you, it's everybody before you and after you kind of affected by it. Yeah, you probably walked away, you broke a cycle kind of thing. This card being surrounded by this border here, whenever I see that, I always feel like it's someone looking through at your progress, right? It could be like spirit looking through at your progress. And again, looking through, how interesting. This reading was very interesting. And the fact that I didn't even use other cards or anything, but this feels right. I don't think I want to pull. The only thing we have to do is get a quote. We're definitely doing that. So I guess we can add all of these up. Yeah, we can do that. Okay. So 49, 56, 66, 72, 132. If it's not 132, I don't want to hear it. I added up to 132. All right. But I could be wrong. Wow, what a Again, this book has never been wrong. This book has never been wrong. Okay. Set wide the window. Let me drink the day. Stay grounded, friends. Stay grounded. And the worst is honestly behind you. Like, quite literally, this hurt is behind you. It's probably like a fleeting recollection for you now. It's almost like it's an intense connection that you have to this pain, but it's slowly dissipating and you feel it. And the pain becomes painful to let go of, if that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense to me, anyways. The pain could become painful to let go of because of conditioning, or because you know that if you let go of the pain, you kind of let go of that connection as well. And that could be very, very painful for you, because it's almost like you've, with this person or people, multiple, whatever you had was very little to begin with. And letting go of the very little that you had, which in return hurt you because it was so little, it's almost like now I have nothing of them. Wow. But I think you already did it. It's and if you didn't, this is your glimpse at the future of you. This is you getting a little sliver, okay? That you have done it. You have done it. You walked away from this energy because you're going toward what really, really you deserve in this life, which is a beautiful life. It was beautiful to begin with, but it can, nothing can happen but it's betterment. You are not going back. Um, you're not going to be in the stasis for long, and you're not going back either. You're making progress, okay? Even though it might feel confusing and like you're not. I'm just gonna read a little bit about this, okay? Because this is like the end result. This is the message today. Everything else is kind of like showing you the path or giving you confirmation about this, okay? The place of all is well. Self-acceptance, wow, I can't speak now. Self-acceptance, rest and renewal. You are weary, and it is time to rest deeply and be renewed. Go into this sacred garden alone, as there is no need for another to be present to experience its pleasure. It's almost like, yeah, you're gonna walk away and alone, and that's okay. That's okay, because you have to experience this self-love and this self-acceptance before you get to share it with anybody else. And it's almost like you're gonna feel like you're selfish with yourself, and your energy is like, I love me so much that I'm going to be so selective. And it's almost like you don't want to be that person because you feel like you're gonna lose a lot of people, or you're going to lose a lot of narratives that you thought were going to happen, or people that you maybe were waiting for them to come back and be like, hey, I love you. Like, you're going to have to walk away from a lot of possibilities because you're walking into self-acceptance, self-acceptance and a new you that is not the person those people met. So they're not gonna, you're gonna let go of the illusion that they're that you're attractive to them anymore. I don't mean to sound harsh. It's not like they're gonna be ugly now, or it's not physical. It's more of, it's an energetic thing. It's like you serve your purpose in their life, and they have finally, you put them to rest, in the sense they have served their purpose in your life. You are closing the door on that, on a lot of stuff, honestly. And there's nothing but good and like abundance and wish fulfillment at the other end of that, and the other side of the coin. The goddess Venus holds a mirror that allows you to see yourself in all your flawed beauty. Do not become caught up in its spell. After a quick glance, take the mirror with you and return it to the battlefield, that you may reveal to others who they are becoming. Then you will no longer have to use your sword. That's interesting that that's the last thing that I wanted to read. What? In the Garden of Venus, there's a pond that shows you the reflection when you stop down to drink. Who is the starting? Who's staring back at you? Look at you have who you have become. Rinse your face with these healing waters and practice deep acceptance. Love who you have turned into, with all your imperfections and blemishes. Okay. So what I said before about that's so interesting. What I said before about you walk away and now you're gonna be selfish with your energy. It's almost like the message there was not to be selfish. You maybe that's another step of the journey. It's going to be a little period where you are closed off and you're very selfish with your energy, but you eventually, the reason why these amazing things are around you is because you're meant to share them. Okay, share them with others, so that it's not just you're not just sharing words or conversations among you, but you're also sharing moments and energy and like memories. You're again, I'm looking at this card. It's like stay grounded. There's a lot of good things coming your way, and you're being asked to not let your ego get the best of you here as well for some reason. Yeah, this, so you can pause it and read. It was this right here. I started to read this last part, and that message feels like it's completely separate from the rest, but this kind of makes sense. All right, if you want to read that. Wow. But it also says, leave all thought behind. Lose your analytical mind and return to your body, grounded. Yes. So if another message is coming through, and this is it because I'm way past what I usually do anyways. You you need to stay grounded because this is coming in. This is coming in, but it's something that, because you're gaining probably more of a view of it energetically and like spiritually. It could be a little bit overwhelming when you don't have it in the physical yet. So that's why the fact that you don't have it in the physical is what makes you go back to, hey, I need to ground. So you're grounding those things that you're receiving as like whatever your foresight is telling you or your intuition is telling you. When you ground, it's like you ground that energy. You believe in it. You give, you give it to Mother Earth so that she may return it back to you, in the form of whatever you are manifesting or you're receiving, that you are going to be, whatever message you're receiving that you will receive in this physical reality. Ground that, because when you give that energy to Mother Earth, she returns it to you in its physical form, if that makes sense. I hope you have a great day. This was a great reading. Of course, it's the 1111 portal. It's so exciting. This energy is beautiful. It's like a roller coaster. It's like a combination of things. So the next portal is 1212. So that's going to be interesting how this develops. And that day might be significant as well. But that's besides the point. Have a good day. And I'll see you next time.